Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to this week in Renewables, episode 23. Your bite-sized roundup of the renewable stories over the last 7 days. Hydro, wind, solar, anything renewables I discuss. I am your host, Mr. Deji Ogunsola, the voice you can trust. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on podcasts, whether that be Spotify, Anchor or Apple or any other streaming platform, it really does help with the visibility, so thank you very much. This week we're going to start off with a bit of general news from the world of renewables and some interesting news coming from Germany. And RWE, the German utility company, they are set to sell solar developer Belectric to Czech power utility SES Group. This is according to the German Federal Cartel Office, which is currently reviewing the transaction. So interesting news here. SES, who I said before is the Czech power utility group, they will buy all shares and take full control of the German developer. Just to give you a bit of background information with regards to Belectric, founded in 2001, Belectric is one of the largest EPC companies for photovoltaic power plants in Germany. In 2017, the photovoltaic project developer became wholly owned subsidiary of Energy in the course of far-reaching transactions between RWE and E.ON. It was then later transferred to RWE in 2020 and has been part of the RWE Renewables since then, so news to me. The sale of Belectric by RWE is part of a plan with regards to streamlining its renewable energy business. Last week, the energy company announced an investment offensive for wind power, hydrogen and storage. RW intends to invest 50 billion by 2030 and among other things increase its installed photovoltaic capacity worldwide by around 1 gigawatts to 8 gigawatts. So very interesting news there. More news from the German sector, this time in the line of a bit of solar. And interestingly, looking at the installed capacity of PV solar, Germany deployed around 411 megawatts of new PV capacity in October. This is according to figures from the Federal Network Agency. This compares to the 406 megawatts in September. And 421 megawatts in October 2020. In the first 10 months of 2021, developers connected over 4.4 gigawatts of solar to the grid, compared to the 3.92 gigawatts in the same period in the year earlier. The country's cumulative solar capacity topped 56.9 gigawatts at the end of September. Further demonstrating that the German PV market keeps driven by the segment of installations not exceeding 750 kilowatts in size, which last month achieved a new installed PV capacity of 304 megawatts. Of this capacity, 292 megawatts comes from rooftop PV arrays, while the remaining share is represented by small size solar parks. So thought to share a bit of news from the Germany sector, both with regards to the PV capacity installed, and again interesting news coming from RWE, who has decided to sell the Belectric solar developer company within its portfolio to Czech power utility SES Group. And that rounds up some industry news there. This time going on to some solar and following on from the German theme. The developer NN Endless Energy has launched a crowdfunding campaign in a bid to raise financing for the development of 4 solar projects in total capacity of about 98.9 megawatts in Germany. To give you some bit more information about this, the 4 ground-mounted photovoltaic projects include a 41 megawatt site in Astet and another one of 11.64 megawatts in Noorderbruggen, both in the state of Saxony-Anhalt, as well as an 18 megawatt plant in Stezendorf and around a 28 megawatt park in Langenmodorf. All four projects are currently in the development phase, and construction works are expected to start within the next 4 years. So the likes of me and you listening have the ability to take part in this crowdfunding campaign, which is quite interesting. To give you a bit more information, the crowdfunding campaign was launched on November the 29th, so yesterday to be precise, in cooperation with the crowd investment partner Win-Win, and is open to investment starting from 500 euros, and that is 564 USD at today's current exchange rate. The interest rate stands at 6.6%. This is the second crowdfunding campaign launched by NN on Winning platform over the last 2 months after the project developer raised financing for 3 solar projects totaling 101 megawatts in October. So interesting news there from Germany, and the ability for the likes of me and you to take part and put our money where our mouth is with regards to our passion for renewables. So on a personal note, I think I will do a bit of investigation there and see if it's something I would like to invest in myself. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor, I must say. A bit more news from the solar sector and the Dutch region, and Austrian energy company Verbund. They are to buy almost 148 megawatts LoRa solar farm in southern Spain from the renewables arm of BayWa for an undisclosed price. The PV park, with a planned total capacity of 148.6 megawatts, is set to enter operation in the first quarter of 2022. Construction itself, which is located in the Pinos Punta near Granada, started in May, and it comprises of 3 PV solar systems sections that will produce approximately 260 gigawatts an hour of electricity a year. In discussing this kind of sale of their solar plant to the Austrian energy company, BayWa Global Director for Solar Projects, Mr. Benedict Ortmann said, "We're delighted about the successful collaboration with Verbund and are very proud of the implementation of the large project, which ranks amongst our pioneering projects in Southern Europe. Thanks to our many years of experience, our global network and fantastic team performance, we will be able to come in on schedule despite the restrictions caused by COVID-19 and delivery bottlenecks. Spain remains one of our core markets, and we have been able to boost strong growth there in recent years." Verbund's chief executive Michael Strugel said, "The Verbund strategy 2030 envisages significant growth in the area of renewable energies with a goal of achieving around 20 to 25% of total production from photovoltaic and onshore wind by 2030. So interesting news coming from the Dutch region, Germany and Austria to be precise. A bit more news from the solar sector, and this time from OX2, who I believe I discussed last week or the week before. They are the Swedish renewables developer, and they have acquired rights to another project, this time 2 solar energy projects totaling 45 megawatts in Sweden from Helios Nordic Energy. The projects, which Helios started developing in 2020, are located in the bidding area SE4 in the region of Skåne, with operations expected to start in 2024. According to the agreement, the parties will jointly develop the projects under the necessary permits are obtained. Then OX2 will later be responsible for the construction and operation. The project is part of OX2's early stage project development portfolio. Looking at some news here, John Pearson, who's the head of solar, commented, "We are looking forward to developing the projects together with Helios and to evaluate further areas for cooperation. OX2's extensive experience from developing wind power is valuable when working with solar energy since the process is similar." So again, interesting news there from OX2 and the development of 2 wind farms in Sweden. Moving on from solar sector to the wind sector, and we've got another bit of a theme here, this time from Brazil. It seems to be featuring heavily in the news this week with regards to onshore wind. First off, we start off with Nordex. Nordex Group have secured a turbine order from AES Brazil, totaling 370 megawatts for the Cajuna 2 wind farm in the state of Rio Grande do Norte in Brazil. The deal itself will cover supply and installation of 64 N1635.X turbines, and also includes the service for the hardware for the initial period of 5 years, with several options to extend up to 20 years. The turbines are due to be installed in the summer 2022 and will be supplied in project-specific operating mode 5.7 megawatts. Nordex will be manufacturing the hubs, most parts, and the 120 meter concrete towers and the rotor blades in Brazil. The project itself, the Cajuna 2, is part of the Cojena wind complex in municipality of Lajes, where constant average wind speeds of approximately 9.5 meters a second give the site a high capacity factor, commented by Nordex. So congratulations to everyone involved there from the Nordex team for securing their order. More news from Brazil. As I said, Brazil kind of features quite heavily on the wind part of this week in renewables, and this time from the Spanish renewable company Acciona. They are to acquire 2 underdeveloped onshore wind farms in Brazil, totaling 850 megawatts from Casa dos Ventos for an undisclosed price. Just to give you a bit more information about this, the projects are the Cento SE1 and 2, located in the state of Bahia in the northeast of the country. The transactions are of course subject to fulfillment of certain conditions and the mandatory approval required from completion authorities. The deal itself will mark Acciona's Energia's entry into the Brazilian renewable market. SE1 and SE2 are currently in the process of obtaining all the necessary permits and authorizations prior to execution, as commented by Acciona. Once these are obtained, the company can proceed to approve the investment and start construction later next year. The development of both wind farms would involve an investment of 800 million euros. So the Brazil market for the onshore wind definitely seems to be picking up. And as I said again, Brazil was going to feature quite heavily, and last but not least, in terms of Brazil, and this time coming from Enel Green Power, they have brought online the 353 megawatt Morro de Capão 2 onshore wind farm in Brazil. The project itself, which is located in the municipalities of Morro de Capão and Capanã, is composed of 84 turbines, of which roughly half have already been connected to the national interconnected system. It is expected to be fully operational by January next year, 2022, this is when it will be able to generate more than 1,800 gigawatts an hour of electricity per year and avoid annual emissions of around 992,000 tons of CO2. So this is really good. You know, not only seeing these projects which are coming through at development stage, but actually completed, constructed and brought through to online power. Enel commented that the construction of the wind farms required an investment of approximately 304 megawatts, and added the energy that it produces will mostly be supplied to the free market for sale to commercial customers. The project is located in the same region as its sister project, the 172 megawatt Morro de Capul, which has been in operation since 2018. So again, fantastic news there coming from Brazil, and Enel Green Power, whose recently constructed project has been brought online and is expected to be fully operational by 2022 in January. To finish off this week in renewables, I'll be discussing some hydropower news now, and this time coming from UK-based company Mott MacDonald. They have announced that they will be supporting the development of the preliminary designs of a new hydroelectric plant in Albania. Working together alongside Bechtel, Mott MacDonald will be developing the hydrological, geotechnical, seismic and engineering technical studies, and will recommend a preferred layout for the scheme. The firm will also produce the front-end engineering and design study, which will all contribute to the project's cost estimate. The project itself will be owned and operated by the Albanian state-owned company by the name of KESH, which operates 79% of the country's generation capacity at this particular moment. So having done lots of work in Albania myself, this is quite interesting, and we'll be keen to see how this project develops. Final bit of news here from the hydropower sector. Andritz, who is the German-based equipment manufacturer, they have won an order from the Assam state government owned utility Assam Power, and they are to supply the complete electromechanical equipment for the Lower Copley hydro plant located in India. Start of commercial operation is expected to end in 2024. Interestingly, the scope of supply will consist of plant design and engineering, manufacturing, supply, erection, testing and commissioning of all complete electrical mechanical equipment, including all 5 turbine generator units for the Lower Copley hydroelectric project. Once completed, the project itself will have a total installed capacity of about 120 megawatts, based on 2 main units and 3 environmental flow units, and produce 450 gigawatts per hour of electricity per year. The project will also provide strong support in covering the growing demand for electricity in the Indian state of Assam. So again, fantastic news coming from the hydropower sector in India, to be precise. Congratulations to the team at Andritz for securing that order. So that, my friends, is a roundup of the renewable stories over the last 7 days. Hydro, wind, solar and anything else renewables I discuss. Thank you for watching. I've been your host, Mr. Deji Ogunsola, the voice you can trust. Don't forget to look out for this month in renewables, which is a monthly based newsletter discussing the renewable sector over the last month. You can find that posted on LinkedIn. And then again, please do not forget to watch on YouTube if you prefer the video format. And then yeah, tell a friend to tell a friend. It does really help with the visibility. On that note, I have a wonderful week ahead. Keep it green, keep it clean. Goodbye, take care.